August 2021, a High Sierra adventure.
Don McKenzie and I have hiked large stretches of the Pacific Crest Trail, which extends from Mexico to Canada through California, Oregon, and Washington.
Hoo-wee, that's like 1,000,000 miles long, no?
2,653 miles to be exact, one of America's 3 long trails. This year, we planned a 54-mile trek that includes about 25 miles of the PCT and the John Muir Trail right in the heart of the Sierra Nevada. Who's up for a hike?
Yeah, count me in.
Hey, as John Muir once said, the mountains are calling and I must go.
Yeah, a patch just for a pithy quote?
Just wait, Jim. You have no idea on the patches.
Anyway, not to brag, but this hiking crew is highly accomplished and game for a challenging hike.
Don McKenzie has been mountaineering in the Sierras for decades, and a new book of his on mountain responses to global warming is just now out.
I have a book out on restoring ecosystems to health and resiliency.
And Paul, he once did his own big hike of the PCT, the John Muir part, 210 miles, and made a video postcard. Check out the link below in the description of this video for that photo album.
Backed up with music even, and let's just say you can't go wrong with Beethoven.
Jim rode his bike to the lowest point of every continent, cleverly titling his book Into Thick Air.
Hey, I've read that book. That was you?
That's me.
Yeah, good book. Maybe you'll see us spike in sales now. Either way, that was some amazing bike trekking.
Don McKenzie flew down from Seattle, and it was a 2-day drive for us Tucsonans to get to Bishop, California.
With an overnight stop in Joshua Tree, surprisingly cool for midsummer, and pretty in its own right, as always.
And many nice patches. Joshua Tree. If you've never been, you gotta go. An essential destination.
So, the starting point for the Sierra Nevada is about 100 million years ago when magma rose towards but didn't quite reach Earth's surface, which you see here, this red blob.
Stalled underground, the magma cooled slowly, very slowly, forming good old granite with big grain sizes and various inclusions.
More recently, like the last several million years or so, uplift raised the entire thing, allowing for erosion, another slow, dignified process of geology, to exert itself, exposing the granite.
On surface geological maps of the Sierra Nevada, granite is the dominant rock type, also red on this map.
And then, very recently, like the equivalent of last week geologically, glaciers covered the entire mountain range, leaving boulders scattered everywhere and shaping the entire Sierra landscape.
Yep, there you have it, the abbreviated geological history of California's range of light, the Sierra Nevada. There'll be a quiz at the end of this video.
From an oblique aerial view, our trailheads in and out were just upslope of Bishop, California.
We went in at South Lake and 7 days later came out at North Lake.
In between, it was unsupported wilderness hiking in a clockwise circle. In total, 55 miles of trail.
In side view or elevation profile, we hiked up and over 3 passes close to 12,000 feet in elevation, and we followed 4 drainage basins, including the upper reaches of the mighty Kings and San Joaquin rivers.
And each elevational change was at least a couple thousand feet, if not twice that.
Yep, about 15,000 feet of ups and downs in total on this trek. This was a grueling hike.
Here we are at our starting trailhead, Paul, Jim, and the Dons.
Well, as it turned out, a big fire in California was sending out a lot of smoke, to which one of the Dons was pretty sensitive. For example, here was a view of the Sierras from the car in Owens Valley.
After some discussion, Don McKenzie decided not to continue the hike rather than risk the effects of excessive smoke exposure. We've all had to turn back in the mountains, and it's never a sure thing.
Yeah, we hope to see you out the next time, Don.
Yeah, but my question is, will there ever be a year again without California burning with big fires? Sheesh.
Morning of day 2, we crossed up and over Bishop Pass and into the backcountry. Wilderness.
Yeah, that was our last chance to turn back. No more plan B after this point. Are we really going to make it?
Patience and perseverance prevail, Jim. We got this.
Campsites abound on Sierra trails, in part due to high use.
Yep, Decades of trekking by hordes of hikers have resulted in open flat spots conveniently located just about everywhere, usually near water.
Yeah, I thought we were going to have to hike well into the night, searching for camps by headlamp, but
Nope.
Well, only if that's your thing, Jim. After all, you're the one who has cycled to the belly buttons of each continent.
only one of our camps was up high and on a west-facing slope. Give it even a chance at a sunset, but sure enough, it was a nice one.
The trail has a string of ranger stations staffed by the land management agencies that provide essential services for maintenance and hiker safety.
Nice, I guess. I'm not sure these structures conform exactly to the Federal Wilderness Act, which, by the way, recently turned 50, which deserves its own patch.
All these stations have names. These are McClure on the left and LeConte on the right.
It is incredible that these structures are here at all, the trail being so remote.
Whoa, stand back everybody, horses coming through. These outfitters are bringing in gear so that hikers can day hike to their campsites.
Don, why are we using horsebackers?
Yeah, Don, how about some horses for us? Is horse packing the entire PCT a thing?
No guys, I'm sorry, I don't think so. For us, every last inch has to be on foot.
Oh, God.
Whatever. Pretty good wildlife was spotted while on the trail.
Oh, Paul, did you just say spotted wildlife?
I did, pun intended, and we saw a mountain garter snake.
Not to mention the ever-present marmots, always lurking, hoping to get human food.
By the way, marmots have their own patch. Many of them, actually. Marmots, good marketers and self-promoters.
We had no bear sightings on this trip, though plenty of bear sign, with marked trees all over the forest announcing their presence, even if we couldn't see them.
Yeah, well, I've been beared up here in the past, so for me, just as well avoiding our bear friends on this trip. Throughout the High Sierra, a dominant bird is the Clark's Nutcracker, related to crows and jays.
It's a beautiful bird and a strong flyer. Abundant as they are here, they're hard to photograph well, so these images are from web sources.
And noisy, always calling out with loud squawks audible from a long distance.
Yeah, but Clark's nutcrackers are important dispersers of the seeds of high elevation pines. These birds are essential up here at treeline.
Up near Muir Pass at about 11,000 feet, one of my favorite birds, an American dipper, was working the stream.
These birds are about the size of robins. They're pretty amazing. They walk right into the water, all the way under, and glean insects from the bottom. And then they come back up, apparently completely dry.
Adults are uniformly dark gray, but juveniles are lighter in color with streaking on the front. Our Muir Pass dipper was probably young.
At this high elevation, surface water is low in dissolved oxygen and therefore crystal clear, nearly devoid of life.
Honestly, it's hard to see how dippers survive here, but here they are, common in the High Sierra.
Yeah, that's downright inspirational, I'd say.
And not exactly a patch, but even dippers have their own merchandise. Here's a t-shirt. The milestone location on the John Muir Trail is Muir Pass, just shy of 12,000 feet in elevation, and the Muir Hut.
It was built in 1930 by the Sierra Club. And this hut's a monument to, guess who? John Muir.
Hikers spend a little extra time here, so it's very festive, kind of a party atmosphere.
And for me especially, this is really hallowed ground. I've waited a long time, almost my whole life, to finally arrive at the iconic Muir Hut.
Turns out all three of us can hold a note to some degree, that is, sing, so we taught ourselves a barbershop tag.
I thought barbershop was four singers, a quartet.
Right you are, Professor Jim. So, we searched for a fourth up and down the trail, mostly to no avail.
However, while we were at Muir Pass and inside the Muir Hut, we rang out our trio and immediately attracted an audience, including a couple of hikers, willing to learn the fourth part.
Here now, at 12,000 feet, the Muir Hut Quartet,
Quintet,
singing the away tag inside the Muir Hut. I started off with my low note.
Away, please don't leave me, never
guys, it's Jody and Lisa from the trail up at the Muir Pass and the Muir Hut.
Oh, look, our fellow hiker-singers. Welcome into the video.
Not to interrupt here, but hey, fun trail video so far. What's with the patches?
Yeah, that would be me. I do like the patches. And I also like singing tags. Thanks again for joining us on the away tag up at the Muir Hut. That was fun.
Oh my gosh, we got up there and I'm at the pass and I took off my boots and I heard this amazing singing come on out of the hut. And I could not wait to get in there and hear you guys sing. And it was just like made my day.
And I know when I first heard the music, I thought, who the heck up here is listening to their iPod out loud? That is so not okay up here.
I felt so honored to get invited to sing with you. So thank you so much.
Well, we got to get back to our video now. Hope to see you two again someday on the trail.
See you down the trail.
Bye.
Bye.
Let's not forget the mighty trees of the High Sierra. For example, Jim couldn't resist this impressive western juniper.
Yeah, look at that thing. It looks to be what, 10,000 years old maybe?
Probably not quite. Several hundred years old, just middle-aged for this species.
Yeah, well, junipers are attractive even as they're dying and long after death.
And I got to practice a lifelong motto of mine.
Which would be?
Never pass up a cut stump without looking closely at the tree rings. After all, we are from the Arizona Tree Ring Lab, which just recently created its own patch.
So, how old is, or was, this tree?
This one, a lodgepole pine, was 200 years old when it fell, also about average for this species.
Yeah, I guess I don't feel so old myself after all. I mean, compared to these trees.
Morning routine each day included lathering up with sunscreen.
Yeah, at our ages, we got to go with the extra gooey stuff. SPF 100 or maybe SPF 1000.
Whatever it was like spreading sludge on your face to get it on.
Be honest now, did I get it on all right? Is it nice and even?
Oh yeah, perfect. Can't see it all.
You're good, Paul.
Sierra granite is great for rock art. A famous one on the trail is the giant mouth.
Yeah, even better would be adding eyes and a nose.
Many other sculptures can be found along the trail. Here is a humpback whale.
Oh yeah, I see that, though I might have called it the Last Supper.
How about Barney the dinosaur?
And here's a face mask appropriate for 2021, the pandemic year.
And this one?
Oh, the smiling mummy from Egypt.
How about this one?
A snake maybe emerging from hibernation?
Yeah, shortly after the Last Supper.
Good enough.
Well, and don't forget this granite love seat at Paiute Pass, perfectly sized and shaped just for two.
Oh.
As always, many bridges aid in hiking the High Sierra.
Oh yeah, I mean, crossing deep ravines or high water, even in a dry year, would be much harder without these bridges.
Still, every now and then, you just have to take off your boots, wade on in, and cross the old-fashioned way.
Here's Paul bravely crossing the raging San Joaquin River, which looks to be at least up to his ankles. Speaking of water, even in a drought year, the Sierra is still blessed with huge amounts of water.
Oh, for sure. Many lakes and many streams, often with waterfalls.
I gotta say, the Sierra Nevada is one of the loudest places I've ever been.
Say what?
What? I can't hear you.
What was that?
Exactly. And good luck sleeping through all that white noise.
Now, as always, the trail itself was amazing, well built, and easy to follow.
How are trails like this made, you ask?
I've got the answer. Trail crews, composed of young adults eager to serve by doing very strenuous work.
Their response to just how do you move heavy rocks is always one word: leverage.
Yep, leverage works, but still, it only goes so far, doesn't it?
Sometimes the work is almost literally Sisyphean in nature. Check this out.
Awesome. Modern day Sisyphus.
By the way, even Sisyphus has a patch.
Paul and his patches, what's the deal, man? Boy Scout much? All in all, This was truly a great and memorable trek. Hiking the Sierra Nevada with great friends is always special, and this trek was no exception.
It was great being back on the John Muir Trail again. Lakes and streams, meadows, forests, rocky alpine zones, wilderness, solitude. This trail has it all.
Yeah, I'm sold. I guess bikes weren't allowed up in the backcountry, but I'm just as happy walking through these woods as I am cycling to the Dead Sea. To get back home, we took the Vegas route, including a stop at Hoover to see the dam, otherwise known as the American Colossus.
And to see the O'Callahan-Tillman Bridge, an equally spectacular feat of engineering. No patch for the bridge yet. Sorry, Paul, but there's a nice brass plaque at the site.
Hoover Dam has plenty of patches, though, including these two favorites of mine. Good trip, guys. Thanks, Don, for having us along on the hike.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for the great hike. What's your next segment, Don?
I was thinking Death Valley in the middle of summertime. What do you think?
Well, Jim did ride his bike there once, so maybe not out of the question. And many patches for Death Valley, including this ominous one.
Yeah, let's go. And then from there, we could hike up Furnace Creek to Whitney Peak, 100 plus miles and nearly 15,000 feet of elevation gain.
Hey, Whitney is the one patch I hike with. It's on my hat.
Or we could just do something even easier next year, like up and over Mount Rainier in winter. What do you